So yeah, we've all been here before, so it does give you an idea that we've all been here before. So you've seen his speech before if you've ever done this before, but yeah, you'll notice that the words that Titan says are different than what he normally says when you fight him under normal circumstances. As far as I know, it is exclusive to just this particular required encounter. And for those of you not familiar with this fight against Titan, what happens is that at certain points in the fight, he will jump into the air and he will land on the ground so hard that the edges of the platform will go away, and the platform will get smaller and smaller. So now more of the platform is gone. He'll keep going until he gets it towards close to this yellow ring, but he won't go further than that. And then from that point forward, our field of battle will get no smaller. He'll also introduce some new things as well, like he'll also drop in explosive boulders. Because yeah, this is a thing in this game. And if you pay attention to the pattern where whenever the first one appears, you can basically follow it so that you don't take damage. So now, he'll make it to its smallest point. And now we have to break his heart. Another thing he'll do is what he just did. Oh, he didn't do it to me, he did it to someone else. He'll entomb someone. Now, the thing you should not do is break the person free while that move is in effect, landslide, because if a person gets hit by it, they get knocked back, and depending on where they're standing, if they get hit too far, they will not only fall off the platform, they are out of the fight for the remainder of it, and they can't be brought back. But yeah, it's basically Gabu's soul in there inside a Titan. Because everything he said was what he was saying when he was trying to get his parents to come around, and they didn't. Watch out for this huge stack of AoE, because yeah, it is a huge stack. So yeah, the best thing to do whenever the bomb boulders appear is just memorize the sequence in which they first appeared, so that when they detonate, you can follow them and take no damage. Should expect to see, yep, there's that move. Yeah, I'm lucky to just get away from it. Okay, it's going to go after someone. Well, it's going to go after our bard, that particular move. We're going to wait until landslide is used. And then we'll go ahead and set him free. So far, we're doing a really good job. 2, 3 pounds, 4 pounds, and then go. Yeah, we pretty much have it on lockdown at this point. And Arsenal, good to see you this evening. Welcome aboard. Look out for danger. The danger is afoot, but we are victorious. That could not have been done better. That really could not have been done better. I'm proud of our effort here. Once again, we were all here for the exact same reasons, so therefore everyone knew what they were doing, and we took full advantage. So yeah, mission accomplished there, and so now we can warp back to Camp Overlook. As more people continue to come in to take on the same challenge that we just finished. Well, at least I'm glad that you were able to grace us with your presence, Arsenal. Thanks for coming out, and hopefully you'll get the opportunity to see the stream content once it's all up here on YouTube. So thanks for coming out. Appreciate it. So we want to come over here. Yeah, this fate that was going on earlier is going on again. We want to speak with Alpha Node to complete this challenge. Ah, there he is. Did I not tell you he would return safe and sound? The deed is done then? Titan is no more? Indeed. Mission accomplished. Good. There has been enough tragedy this day. He has been like that since he regained consciousness. We believe he can hear us, but he has made no attempt to respond. He is almost certainly still in shock, but we cannot discount the possibility that he succumbed to the Primal's influence. Should that prove to be the case, he must be put to the death like any other foe, such as the Alliance's policy, yes? Yeah, for those of you unfamiliar, anyone who basically worships one of these Beast Tribe gods basically becomes like a puppet to them, and they get brainwashed, and as a result, they are executed as a result. You have the right of it. But we must not rush to conclusions. After all, we once feared that Assail's followers were beyond reason, and many have since laid down their arms and accepted Ishgard's peace. We can but watch, wait, and pray. And with that, we complete this challenge. Alright, so there goes another one. Time for the next one. Entitled, Beneath a Star-Filled Sky. Alpha Node would rather not worry about what may or may not come to pass. There's naught to be gained from dwelling on an eventuality over which we have no control, much less one which may never even come to pass. Let us tend to more immediate matters, informing Commander Blodin of Titan's demise, for example. You may be certain that he will be glad of the news. Would you be so kind as to break it to him? Of course. It's not that far of a trek to get there. We'll just make our way over here and let the commander know. Yeah, Commander, I know that you have a very big audience in front of you, but if I can just have a moment of your time, I have good news for you. Oh, you had a sight for sore eyes. When the others came back without you, I feared the worst, but they said you had matters well in hand. Indeed we did, and victory is ours. All settled then, is it? I'm glad to hear it, but not half as glad as my men will be, believe you me. Regardless of whether or not he was summoned properly, a primal's a primal, and there ain't a soul in the maelstrom that hasn't lost a friend to one. Don't get me wrong, like we were all prepared to do our part, but we weren't so naive as to think we'd live to tell the tale. Thankfully, of course, it didn't come to that, which, my friend, sounds to me like cause for celebration. Now I know you lot have places to be, but why not stay the night? We'd be honoured to raise a glass to the triumphant return of Titan's Bane. And so we take him up on his offer. So, later that night, Alpha Node and the commander are having a conversation. But as for Alice, yeah, she's walking off with Gabu. It's like, where's she going?
Who goes there?
It's only me. Yeah, you have nothing to fear from the Warrior of Light.
Forgive me for straying from the camp. He hasn't been feeling too welcome, to say the least. I thought a change of scenery might do him good. But, alas. It's so quiet out here. The stars spread out before us, beckoning across time and space. Dawn may banish even the darkest night. How bitterly beautiful, those words.
And very poetic, too.
I should be stronger for all my experiences. Yet my heart aches more than ever. I never understood why Grandfather gave his life that day. I thought that if I came here, I would find the answers I needed. But when I finally laid eyes on the land he sacrificed everything to save, saw firsthand the bickering, the pettiness, I was disappointed. I was angry. I could not fathom how these people were more deserving of his love than his family, than me. But when Grandfather revealed the whole truth of the calamity to us, I finally understood. And I resolved there and then to continue his legacy in my own way. My travels have been enlightening, but I cannot say that I have enjoyed them. I have lost count of the many petty crises that I was helpless to resolve and of the people whose actions I could not understand. There were others, of course. Good people. People with whom I felt a kinship, whose lives I could not save. I found myself asking what it was all for. Why try if I was doomed to fail in the end? But then I recalled Grandfather's words to my father, years ago, before he left Charlayan behind forever. To ignore the plight of those one might conceivably save is not wisdom, it is indolence. We must all protect that which we hold most dear in the manner of our own choosing. We have to try, do we not? Of course, it's one thing to try and another to do. There were times while I was tracking the Warriors of Darkness when I faltered, when I was afraid. But then I thought of my brother, of Urianger, of you.
Thank you. You still kept me in your thoughts.
Oh, pray forgive me. This conversation has been rather one-sided, hasn't it? Mayhap you could recount some of your adventures in Ishgard.
We do get the opportunity to give three options. Just like before, it's choose one of them. I traveled far and wide with two companions, a Stenien and a Sail, who were very, or under some rather unique circumstances, I had the pleasure to fight alongside Sir Emmerich. Or how about when Alphanode and I at last came to the Dravanian hinterlands? I've had the opportunity to look at both of the other choices through the unending journey that allows you to look at the previous cutscenes that you've seen before, but this is the funniest. I traveled far and wide with two companions, a Stenien and a Sail, who were very... And then...
Gods! They must have been at each other's throats from dawn till dusk. I dare say you managed to keep the peace, though. Merely being in the presence of the Warrior of Light is surely enough to shame anyone into behaving.
I love that line.
The hopes and dreams of so many rest on your shoulders, Warrior of Light. As long as the sun rises, we can but carry on. For the sake of those we hold dear.
Yeah, hey there, Alphanode. Want to join us? I promise not to stab anyone with my lance. Yeah, so we may have been enjoying ourselves, but in another part of the realm... Yeah, we're paying a visit to the Warriors of Darkness. And they're not that far from Ul'dah. Yeah, it's the return of the Masked Man.
To what end dost thou cling to the tainted gifts of the Mother?
Every tool has its purpose. Even this. Well, what is it?
Yeah, out with it, you.
The seeds sown in Vilbrand have been plucked from the earth and left to wither. Alas, Titan's demise sufficed not to drive the kobolds to deepest desperation.
What did the man in white have to say?
That we are to proceed as he did first set forth.
Well, that's easy for him to say. It's not his bloody world on the brink of destruction, is it?
No, it isn't.
Be thou well reminded that with an end to Ishgard's unrest, naught now remaineth to preoccupy the Scion's thoughts. And thus may they devote their every energy to thwarting thee and thine. I foresee only greater difficulties ahead.
Foresee? Are you sure you don't welcome them? I'm starting to think you might hold a candle for your old friends after all.
Pray do not mistake mine intent. I but look upon the path which lieth before us with due trepidation.
I'm sure you
thou
do.
be of like mind, pray consider then another course. For the power to invoke the ardor belongeth not unto the Ascians alone. With thine own hand strike down thine enemy, the so-called hero who would see thy home lost to light. Do but this, and thou wouldst at a single stroke disrupt the all-too delicate balance of this realm, plunging her straightways into chaos.
Easier said than done. Do you know who you're dealing with?
You do realize what you're suggesting, yes?
Yeah.
To ignore the plight of those one might conceivably save is not wisdom, it is indolence. The words of my teacher, and a creed I hold close to my heart.
Yeah. We just heard that line 5 minutes ago. This guy has a connection. And a very creepy one at that.
Very well. Draw him out. We'll make it quick.
It shall be done.
I need to make it a point to try and remember who the Legaia 2 final boss was, what his name is. Because he's got the same white hair and creepy yellow eyes.
One cannot uphold. What hurts soothed. What lives saved. Oh, hapless fool, what hast thou wrought by thine own hands? Minfilia, my friends, I shall not now beg your forgiveness. Full deeply though it paineth me to walk it, I shall not stray from my chosen path. As Moonbreeder remains steadfast, so too shall I.
The only way what he says makes sense is if you've been watching the entire Realm Reborn Let's Play. And it might give you an indication on who that guy is, because Cynthia and I were actually talking about it this morning, and we both have an idea who it is. That's Elizin with the covered mouth. Yeah, so we not only did we stay at night, but we also stayed pretty much the entire next day, too. Alphanode? What ho, Mathia? I trust you had a good night's rest? Heck, I slept so much I almost slept until the start of the next evening. I was but this moment speaking with Thancred and Nishtolo via Linkpearl. They had some interesting news to share. Apparently, during the course of their respective investigations, both came across crates which had once borne Skaldian seals. 'Twould seem that someone in the capital had been very busy indeed. Accordingly, the Temple Knights have launched a full-scale investigation. Sir Emmerich believes that it is only a matter of time before the culprits are found, but we shall have to wait and see. In the meantime, it seems only prudent to look into the recent activities of the other tribes, in case they too are flush with the Skaldian crystals. And with that in mind, I suggest we play Oriange another. Wait, where is Alistair? She was here moments ago with Galbu. Yeah, we gotta go find Alice, but actually she's not that far. Yeah, in fact, she's right over here, actually. Hey there, Alice. And hey there, Ryan. Sorry I didn't notice you earlier, but glad you could join us. Welcome to this evening's webcast. Ah, let me guess. It's time to leave, isn't it? My apologies for disappearing again. If it is any consolation, I've already packed my things. How is he? Yeah, we're still dealing with Gabu there. Brother, Commander Bloden, something tells me you are not solely here out of concern for his welfare. But to answer your question, there has been no change. He will not speak or eat. I'm not even sure if he slept. If he did, he seems none the better for it. He just shuffles about with that same expression on his face. Already there, Cynthia? That's crazy. You will look after him, won't you, Commander? And treat him with every kindness? He's still in there, I know it. Beneath the anguish and the despair, he's still fighting with all his heart. He deserves to be given that chance, until he comes back to us, until we know for certain what has become of him. Aye, you need it ready. If he hadn't risked his neck to warn us, and help you secure the better part of the crystals, this could have turned out a damn sight worse than it did. You'll not soon forget that, and all will melt from command. I'm so sorry, Gabu, I truly am. You should have never been made to... And I know I cannot possibly understand. Mayhap there's nothing I can do or say. The pain, the anger, the helplessness. Hold fast to the memories of better times. Remember them as they were. And when it hurts so much your heart feels fit to burst, let it burst. Let it burst and fill up again with your love for them. And never ever forget. Come along, little one. I will remember them. And thank you, Alice. Thank you. Yeah, he actually spoke to us. Yeah, that's new. So yeah, he's still in there somewhere. Have faith, sister. Your words have reached him. In time, he will recover. And those who orchestrated these events will be made to answer for their crimes. Yeah, Alice is obviously distressed. 1,000 times over, there will be a reckoning. Yeah, we'll get them. We'll get them. Alright, so we've been asked to return to the Waking Sands, so back we go there. Right now. So yeah, we have to go back and speak with Oriange again to apprise him of the situation. So back over to the Waking Sands. Because yeah, if I remember within the context of the Heavensward main story, the Waking Sands, of course, does not get as much attention. It does get a lot of attention in A Realm Reborn, but in Heavensward, it doesn't get quite as much. And I think we're chasing after someone who has a mount from the Bismarck Extreme battle, because I see a bird that has water bubbles or air pockets or something sailing behind it. And I think it's following someone who has the Ravana mount as well, the Ravana bird. That one with fire coming out of it. And we'll go ahead and make our way back to where we need to be. Because of course it is where everyone is going. Rest assured. Yeah, people are going in, people are coming out. So yeah, let's inform Oriange of what happened. We have heard the glad tidings from Mogomoro, my friends. By the grace of the 12 and your most valiant efforts, the people of Limsa may rest easy. I should like to think so, yes. Though you failed to prevent the Lord of Christ from manifesting, we did succeed in weakening him, enabling Mathai to dispatch him before the Warriors of Darkness could make matters worse. 'Twas by no means an unmitigated success, but it will have to suffice. Then let us speak of another matter, one which weigheth heavily on my lady's mind. As thou didst request, I sought out the Jeren oracles, that we might better understand the aims of the Warriors of Darkness. Through their copious use of allegory defieth any single interpretation, the oracles paint a most disturbing picture, one of worlds parallel to our own, apart yet linked, reduced to ruin with every humble calamity. 7 times they have succeeded. Then of 10 and 13, only 6 worlds remain. Aye, all as is my lady Menphelia spake unto thee. As for what becometh of these reflections when they and the soul are rejoined, frail flesh undone in umbral fires, each soul surrendereth to her coal, to flow unto the endless sea, there to endure as one and none. Then if the Warriors of Darkness succeed, everyone in their world will die? In essence, aye. The verse speaketh of the renunciation of the flesh and subsequent return to the life stream. However, this fate may be yet preferable to the alternative, for if the first were to fall to transcendent light in the manner the Warriors of Darkness described, it would give way unto a void wherein none may know either life or death. Far better to die, they reason, for in death there is life. The essence of a soul which returneth unto the source may be born anew. Saved, such at least is their belief, I surmise. If that is true, then... gods! No one should ever have to make such a choice. Ere we speak further on this subject, I would share with thee another recent discovery. 'Twould seem that several sizable shipments of crystals have been delivered into the hands of certain Alamegan parties. Alamegans? Strange. And you believe this to be the work of the same Mishgardian smugglers who supplied the beast tribes? I know beyond a shadow of a doubt, and lest thou wonder at their motive, I would remind you that the Asians did once attempt to bring about the summoning of Ralgar. The individuals who took receipt of these shipments are refugees belonging to a group devoted to the cause of Alamegan liberation. It may also interest thee to know that their Ishgardian suppliers appear to be none other than the remnants of Elaine Ryu's network of spies. Surely you jest, and yet it is not so surprising. Bereft of leadership and haunted by the Alliance, I can well imagine such villains being desperate enough to conspire with the Asians, assuming they even know, or care, who their new employers are. All of which is irrelevant. Forgive me, we must seek out the resistance group which received the crystals without delay. Mathia, Alice, will you come with me to Little Alamigo? Of course. Meanwhile, Alcé fixes her attention again on Urianger. Yes, of course. I should like to hear what they have to say for themselves, firsthand. May you ever walk in the light of the crystal. Yeah, so we'll leave Urianger to himself again. Oh, hold on, we got a communication. Alpha Node, Alcé, Mathia, are you three listening? Good, I have tidings. Yeah, that'll be Thancred. The Temple Knights raided the smuggler's warehouse less than an hour ago. A cursory interrogation of the prisoners yielded confirmation that they were employ of, and I hope you all sitting down, a man in black robes. And then you have them in the crystals too? What few remained, aye. Regrettably, it would seem they dispatched one final shipment in the hours before we struck. 'Twas bound for Little Alamigo, we are told, where it will be received by members of a local resistance group. Since Sir Emmerich's men no longer have need of my services, I have a mind to head that way. As do we, by happy coincidence. We learned of the shipments but a few moments ago. Ha! And there I was thinking I might finally be one step ahead of the Warrior of Light and his little helpers. Ah, wait a moment, there's more, and I defy you not to be surprised by this revelation. The leader of the Ishgardian smugglers was formerly in the ploy of one Elaine Roy, the famous Ivy herself. Once again, Thancred, I must inform you that... Yeah, then Alcé accusing. Thancred, with whom else have you shared this information? About the smugglers. No one. As I think I mentioned, the raid was less than an hour ago. I was planning to contact the Stoller next, but is there someone else who you would have me notify first? No, there isn't. Yeah, and so once again she walks off. Like, what's up with that girl? Alpha Node, you got an explanation for your sister's kooky behavior? What in the world has gotten into her? It is twice now that we have sought Urianger's aid, and twice she has treated him as if he were a stranger. The Archon was one of the grandfather's most dedicated pupils, and spent as much time in the Levier estate as we did. He is practically a member of the family. Truth be told, I struggle to recall a day from my childhood when I did not see the three of them laughing together. If this continues, I may have to raise the matter. Later, though, Little Alamigo awaits. And so that means we now go to a place that we have not been in since the early days of A Realm Reborn. Off to southern Thanlin and the refugee settlement of Little Alamigo. And not surprisingly, a lot of people are going to be located there too, so it's not surprising that's going to take us a bit of a while to actually appear here. So yeah, there's Alcé. I will get to the bottom of this. Oh, forgive me, it has been a long day. Do you have something to say? Well, we're just worried about you. Urianger? Oh, I've always struggled to understand what's going on in his head. Now more than ever. Listen, Mathia, if anything should happen, it should be me who... Just know that I'm prepared to do what must be done. Right then, to more pressing matters. Since we have no idea when Thancred might arrive, I suggest we see what information we can gather in his absence. And with that, Beneath the Starfield Sky is finished.